I was going to ask you about a teammate of yours. So you go into these big movies like Top Gun. Had you ever met Tom Cruise? And I'm sure everybody's asked you, like, he's a little bit wired to like he's wound up tight. Like he's a machine, is he not?
Yeah, I mean, he's 10 years older than me. He looks 10 years younger than me. And he's, he's the first guy there on set. And he's the last guy to leave. And he's up at 5 o'clock in the morning working out. And he's got 6 other projects that he's getting going. He's just, you said it right. He's a machine, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. He's the hardest working guy on set, which when you're looking at movies like that and the guy has all that on his shoulders, that's who you want in that job, is that guy. The guy who takes the responsibility, says, put it on my back, let's go. And we're going to make the best movie we can. And I've seen Top Gun. I'd met Tom a couple times before we worked together. But when I first stepped on set in 2018, he, big open arm hug, big smile. So glad to have you here. Stopped everything, spent 5 minutes to talk to me. So it's that kind of stuff that you think, man, like that's a good, he doesn't have to do that. And then there's a lot of people that don't, that are in that position. So it's one of those things where you're just like, okay, I appreciate that. And the proof's in the pudding. The guy's been a movie star since he's 17 years old. That's some longevity in a career that doesn't necessarily have a lot of examples of that.
And he was flying his own jets in the movie.
He wasn't flying he is a professional pilot, and he was in the cockpit for a lot of these things. I mean, obviously these are $80 million aircraft that are owned by the taxpayers. So they weren't, doesn't matter how good you are at whatever, they weren't exactly handing the keys over, but they had this amazing way of shooting it where you see, I mean, you'll see it when you watch the movie. The movie's incredible, and you'll see how the G-forces are pushing these, not only Tom, like a lot of our young stars, Miles Teller and the other guys in the film, they're all in the back seat of those planes, and they're all pulling G's, and it's impressive to watch. Like I got to ride on the aircraft carrier. I was like, this is much more my speed. This is 20 knots an hour, a nice sunset. I'm good.
Did you throw up at all? Did you end up getting in one of the G's or no?
No, I didn't. Thank God. I didn't have to do it, but I would have. I mean, and of course I would have puked or passed out. That's just how it goes. It's tough. It's real. I mean, it's real, and you see it. That's what's really cool about this, the way they shot this one, is that, with the technology now, you can stick a camera anywhere. They have all these HD tiny little cameras, and they've got close-ups on these guys when they're coming off the aircraft carrier, and you can see behind them the aircraft carrier getting smaller in the distance. It's really neat.
Did any of these guys go up in any of the jets or go through like the school, like we see Richard Gere in An Officer and a Gentleman?
Yeah, they did a lot of that stuff. The kids that played the pilots, and Tom, of course, had to go through all that, and it was rigorous. I mean, those guys and gals were in amazing shape because they had to be, and if you weren't, you would not be able to do what was asked of you. And so they all had to work really hard, and like I said, the proof's in the pudding. And also they had the leader of all leaders in front of them saying, look, if I can do it, you can. You guys are 30 years younger.
You better.
You better.
So I mean, I'm looking like there's 50 million views on the trailer, 50,000 comments.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was
have you ever trailer. This has to be the most the biggest thing like that you've ever kind of released, the most fired up you've been for something you've worked on?
Easily, and that's why I'm in any normal time I would clear my decks for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Blues. For this I've got to show up and head around the world and really promote it.
Tough gig. Got to go to Canes.
Yeah, right.
Hey, tough gig, buddy. Hanging out with Leo and Bezos on his fucking yacht. Yeah, tough life, man.
Don't give me keys to those. I get to stay in a hotel, but that's about it.